Hey guys, welcome back to Let's Play The Sims 3. This is not a Let's Play, this is welcome back to my channel. My name is Kate, or I go by Always More Sims here on YouTube, and today we're doing another speed build. I'm basically going to try and just do speed builds for when I want to get my Sims kicks, because one, they take forever. I am not a fast builder or furnisher. I'm not fast at furnishing. Came out sounding like furniture. No, I'm not very quick at furnishing. I take forever to build, so I'm not very fast. I am not fast. Yeah, no kidding. So plus I am so far ahead. I'm hoping like later in the month. It is currently July 6th, by the way. I'm hoping later in the month, since school starts back up next week. I mean, school might as well just bust me in the head and knock me over because I don't want to go back to school. But I'm hoping that at the end of the month, I will be able to get about another month's worth of recording in. So I'm able to focus on school for the first, while. But first couple weeks or so. I do have Momo in here like normal. Momo never leaves the room. Do you, Moch? Mochi? Actually, he's getting declawed tomorrow morning, but he goes into the vet's office tonight. Hey! That's my flip-flop! And I have George. It always has to George. She's my George. I've been feeding her Twizzlers. I have these Twizzlers that I keep them in a Ziploc bag after I open them to help keep them like fresh. And my Ziploc, the bag broke, and so I don't have anything to put the Twizzlers in, so they all went stale, and so I've been feeding her stale Twizzlers. But anyways, the house. I don't know what I'm gonna call this house. Something with farmhouse, I'm thinking, but at first I was like, I'm gonna call it Fairview Farmhouse. But the second speed build I ever posted on the channel was called Fairview Farmhouse. So I'm like, that's not gonna happen. Mochi. I was looking back through the playlist because I thought the name Fairview Farmhouse sounded familiar, so I looked back through my own playlist to see if it was one of my houses, because if so, I'm not naming it that, but if not, then I doubt I'm the first person to name a house after the same thing as somebody else did. I doubt I'm the first. So I'm looking back, and then I noticed this house called Colonial Gray, and there's actually quite a few of the houses on the playlist that I don't remember doing, like building, furnishing. Some of them I do, like Turtle View. That was the house we lived in for the Snow White generation, and Fudge Drive was generation 3 of Perfect Genetics. Like, some of the houses I do remember, but other houses, like this Colonial Gray one, I don't remember building or furnishing. I don't remember doing the one right after it, Stone Ranch. But I was actually looking through this Colonial Gray one, because especially that one, I was having absolutely nothing was coming to me. I'm like, I don't recognize this house. Am I sure this is my house? It was my house, but then I'm watching myself furnish it. I'm like, I don't remember ever being that good at furnishing, because not to pat myself on the back, but at the same time, toot my own horn. Hey, those are my pants. He knocked a pair of pants on the floor. He is being a butt right now. I think he's like, get it out of your system now, because you're going in the kennel all night. Which makes me sad, but I need those front claws gone. He's tearing everything up with them. But I'm watching myself furnish. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. And it just seemed to be coming to me like effortlessly. But then I'm like, maybe I have I would love to use this house. Maybe I have it saved to my library. Of course I don't. I guess at that point, when my houses were saving and my game kept crashing. And I'm like, are you serious? Because this house looks amazing. Get him, George. You get him, George. Here's a Twizzler. I'm tearing him in half. Yeah. Anyways, how many bedrooms and bathrooms does this... Did I name it? I did name it. It has nothing to do with farmhouse. It's called the Coach. This house is called the Coach. It's got 4 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, laundry room, and an office. I'm not the biggest fan of this house. I don't really like how it came out. I think it's very odd looking. I don't know. Honestly, the next house, because I've already done another speed build for a different house, it does not look the same, but I did almost the same thing with the driveway, except it's a little more curvy for the other house. So I don't know. I think I did a pretty decent job furnishing. At the same time, I don't. I wasn't gonna decorate the bedrooms, and then I saw I keep wanting to call it stone something, and it's not. It's colonial gray. Then I saw, when I did colonial gray, I'm like, wow, how did I do the bedrooms like that? Because I went to try and do it here. I'm like, I have no clue where I got that talent from, because I am not feeling it right now. This looks awful. And so I ended up leaving the bedrooms completely bare. Well, I did the master bedroom. Wasn't feeling that, but I did it. So that's done. There's not a nursery in this house. There's a crib included in the master bedroom, but there is no nursery. It is a single-story house. There's the illusion of an upstairs, but there is no upstairs. So yeah, again, I didn't really like the house. I wasn't a huge fan, but oh well. I totally forgot I named it, but I did name it. And it will have a download link for any of you who actually are crazy enough to like it. Get him, George! Get him! Get him! Get him, George! I don't know. As of right now, I'm still waiting to be able to use my second monitor. I have my second monitor set up. I've turned it off so it no longer flashes at me that it's missing a cable. I went to Staples. I am Walmart again on Sunday. If you watched my last speed build, you'll know what I'm babbling on about. But I went to Walmart and Staples on Sunday again, because I'm like, I didn't think Walmart would have it, but my dad was with me. He's like, maybe Walmart has it just somewhere else. Well, they didn't. Went to Staples. Turns out, no, they technically actually didn't have what I needed. The other ports on the back of the computer are not just regular VGA ports. It's a DVI-D port, I think is what it's called, on the back of the computer, and then it's a VGA port on the back of the monitor. So I have to get a special core that neither Staples nor Walmart sells. So I had to order it off of Amazon. I don't actually know if my mom has placed the order, because it's my mom's account that I use because she has Prime. Nope, she hasn't placed the order. Honestly, my mom does this to me a lot. Like, if my brother puts something in the cart, she orders it, like, as soon as she gets the chance. But when I put something in the cart, I'm left waiting until she has something that she needs to get, until she has something she needs to buy. And that's when my stuff gets bought. And honestly, it annoys the crap out of me. But there's nothing I can really do about it. Ellie, you could use a bath. You feel kind of gross. Not gonna lie. Yeah. Honestly, I feel like it was really... I didn't know what I had done here to screw it up like that, but I had to go back quite a bit of ways just to fix it. I don't even know why I did that. And then I find out the garage is actually too small to fit a carport, later on I made the garage way too small, which I guess a 6x6 garage makes sense on being too small, but at the time I'm like, this should be fine, this should be just long enough. Nope. If any of you do download this house, don't be surprised if your car will not go in the carport. It wouldn't surprise me. This house is not play tested. I don't play test my houses unless I actually have built them for a specific purpose. It's the only way they get play tested is when I actually go to play in them. So, yeah. There's a little boy I babysit about 3 days a week. And, okay, for one, I was supposed to be at their house at 7:45 this morning, and I totally forgot. Completely, absolutely forgot. I even had it in my calendar that I was supposed to be there at 7:45. Totally blanked. And I was ready. I was up by about 7:15, so I was ready. But I'm also dog sitting for somebody where, like, I go over and let their dog out twice a day, and I, take care of the cat, like, make sure that the litter box is clean and there's food and stuff. Well, I was getting ready to head over to their place to take care of. The dog's name is Shelton, and the cat's name is Nico, and I don't really understand where the names came from, but I love them all the same. So, about 7:50, and the mom texts me. She's like, are you still coming today? I'm like, yeah. She's like, well, you were supposed to be here like 5 minutes ago. I'm like, oh my gosh. I remember her texting me and asking if I could do that. I remember thinking that last week. I'm like, don't forget, I'm early next week, and I totally blanked. Well, see, she works at the same salon where I actually get my hair cut. And she's like, don't worry, I'm just taking him to the salon with me. It's really not that big of a deal if you just want to come grab him from here. And I felt awful. She actually, she is the stepmom, technically, to the little boy I watch. But his mom is kind of out of the picture. His biological mom. He sees her about once a month. And she locks him in his room the whole weekend that he's with her. Which is really sad because he's 7. So he's a little boy, he's got a lot of energy, pretty sure he has ADHD, and he gets locked in a room for the weekend that he's with his biological mom. And the day before he goes, he's totally crazy, won't listen to me, is on his worst behavior, and then the day he gets, after he gets back, he's just awful, complete little terror. Well, anyways, his dad and his stepmom, he's been calling her mom for forever, but, they actually got married. They were just dating. I didn't even know they were engaged, and she posted a picture on Facebook on Saturday saying, we would like to officially announce. I'm like, oh my god, no way. But anyways, this little boy, the longer I know him, the longer I watch him, the worse and worse behaved he gets. When I first started watching him, he'd try and fight me on things, but if I said no, he was quick to be like, okay, fine. Well, now he's been more, he's trying to test me and see where, my limits are and what he can get away with. He'll tell me he can do things when he really can't. The other day, we were out front, out on their driveway, and his dad is the one that relieves me. That, comes and he's the one that gets home first and sends me home. And the little boy's name is Eli, and he had gone and found, I don't know where he got it from, but he found this really old, rusty, nasty saw. I'm like, you should not be playing with that. But I didn't want to try and take it from him and risk one of us getting hurt, so just by accident. Ellie, this is my last Twizzler. Okay, last Twizzler. So I'm telling him, you need to put that away, and he's just cutting on branches that fell out of the tree in their front yard. So he's not doing any damage to anything, though he was getting really close to the car, which was freaking me out. But he's like, don't worry about it. My dad says it's fine. I'm like, well, I still don't want you doing it, even if it is fine. And I'm like, I somehow doubt that it's okay anyways. What parent lets a kid play with a saw? Well, sure enough, here comes his dad pulling into the garage, and he goes pulling into the driveway, and Eli goes taking off back into the garage. He comes back out a couple seconds later without the saw. I'm like, weren't supposed to have that, were you? And he's like, I can have it. And he goes up to his dad and he's like, Dad, I can play with that saw, right? And Dad's like, no, you know you can't. I'm like, ha, I told you. And he's like, I can still play with it. I'm like, I was right here. I just heard him tell you you can't. Well, he's been doing that a lot, telling me he can do something when he can't, just because he wants to see if he can get away with it. So, we've had a handful of really bad days. And finally on Friday, I asked his dad, and then I texted his mom, like the stepmom. And I'm like, would you guys be okay if I started this, like, reward system kind of thing? Basically, like, he builds up points. I have a convertible. For those of you who don't know, I drive a 2012 Fire Truck Red Mustang convertible. It's my baby. And he loves putting the top down on it. But, like, Friday morning, he was arguing over the smallest little things. He was demanding things of me. Like, he'll tell me, like, go get me a snack. And it's like, can you go get me a snack or anything? And I'm like, well, what do you say? He's like, now. I'm like, that is not the word I'm looking for. It's looking for please, for those of you who don't know. So he goes to this, like, summer camp from about 10 o'clock to noon every day at one of our local parks. And he had wanted to put the top down. And I told him, no, you haven't earned having the top down. You have not been good for me this morning. Well, that got me thinking. So I asked if we could do this reward system, and they were all for it. And so today was the first day we tried it. So one point, I don't remember what 1 point got. No, 1 point got him nothing. It starts at 3 points. 3 points, he gets the top down on the car. At 5 points, he gets pool time, because they have a above ground pool in their backyard. So 5 points gets him pool time. I actually still have paper out, but I don't want to grab it. 8 points gets him a picnic at, like a place of his choice. And 12 points gets him a water gun fight. 15 points gets him, we have in town, we have an indoor, like, skating rink that also has, like, laser tag and a ball pit kind of thing and go-karts. Like, it's called a fun spot. And actually it is a lot of fun, even for my age. And then we have another place in town that's it's a lot younger. It's more of like an indoor jungle gym kind of thing. And so 15 points gets him the indoor jungle gym because it's cheaper and there's not as much to do there. And then 20 points gets him the fun spot. Well, he can either save up his points, so, like, all through the week save up all the points in order to get the bigger prizes, or he can spend them as he goes. So we started that today, and he was, like, a completely different kid. He was absolutely amazing for me. He was trying so hard to get these points, and we keep track of the points by stickers on a sheet of paper for each day that I'm with him. And I mean, he was opening my car door for me. He was carrying all my stuff. He really wanted those points. And then we have a dollar store in town. Everything is $1. It's not Dollar General, because Dollar General isn't actually $1. It's like some stuff is $5, some stuff is $3. Ooh, Ellie, we really need a bath, babe. Okay. Some stuff is $3. This dollar store is actually everything is $1, and they have actually a lot of decent stuff in there. Well, at the beginning of each week, we're going to go to this dollar store, and he gets to choose 3 things. For every good day he has, he gets to open one of these toys. Now, I made the mistake of not taking these toys home with me today, and I wouldn't be surprised if I go in on Wednesday and find that he's opened them all. I wouldn't be surprised. But, what are you watching? You see him? I'm waving a Twizzler in her face, and she's not being very moved by it. I think she sees Momo. There you go. But he did really well for me today. Again, totally different kid. I was like, who are you? What have you done with Eli? But he was, if the rest of the summer could be like it was today, I would be very happy and very content. Because today was amazing. It was really good. mean, he can be a really good kid, and he can be an absolute butt. I mean, after lunch he did get a little on the wild side, but there's this, like, he has, I don't know what they're called. It's like the little animals, like the little stuffed animals, and the head is really big on them, like a lot bigger than the body, and they have the really big eyes, and there's a certain name for him, but honestly I don't remember what it is. But he has the Avenger version of these, so he has an Iron Man and a Spider-Man and like a Hulk, and I think he has Thor. Well, even though Iron Man is my favorite, I always get stuck with Thor, who is actually stuck with Hulk, which is actually one of my least favorite Avengers. Fun fact, for Iron Man is my absolute favorite. Get him, George. She's actually playing with him, which is kind of cute. With Momo. But I always get stuck with Hulk. And then, like, Iron Man, who he is using, attacks me. Well, he always gets really riled up. And it takes a little bit to get him calmed back down, and so I don't really like playing that with him. But I mean, when there's nothing else like, it was so hot out today. I tried going outside and like throwing a baseball for him, and I couldn't do it. It was way too hot. So we went back inside, and I didn't want to sit him down in front of the TV. So yeah. It was a really good day for the most part. I'm not gonna lie, I don't really like the bedroom. It was really long. See, this is where I find out that the carport doesn't actually fit the garage. See? So I turn it, but again, don't be surprised if the car doesn't fit in the garage. It'll probably automatically, like place itself on the part out on the port out on the driveway, but it probably will not place. I just poked George in the eye because I'm flinging my hand around. Probably will not place. I can't talk in the garage. You'll have to have move objects on to get it to place. But yep, I use the same flowers I always do. I always use the white, purple, and pink flower bushes. I know the purple ones are called azaleas, but I don't remember what the other two are called. So yeah, again, I don't know how I feel about this house. But yeah. So I'll just go ahead and end this here. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. And I will see you guys all in my next video. Thank you guys. Bye.
Two lovers, forbidden from one another, a war divides their people, and the mountain divides them apart. Build a path to be together. And I forget the next couple of lines, but then it goes, secret tunnel, through the mountain, secret tunnel. Yeah, I just remember the next couple lines. Two lovers, destined for one another.